I don't think there's anything really important about what you do. But I think what is fundamentally important is what you are.
Oh, I love that. That's a
I
quote.
like that. That's the quote.
Love
That's
that.
the headline.
Yeah.
Well, it shapes what you do.
Yeah.
Oh, I go around this side. Do you think that fintechs are ever going to get disrupted by like a new level of fintech? Fintechs will become like the banks were.
Well, I think you see that with certain unicorns getting to a stage of growth.
Yeah.
But I don't think fintech will ever be bankified. But there will be fintechs that have scaled up and have gotten to a particular level where they need to, again, sort of decide what they are. They're not the rebellious, edgy, bleeding edge sort of thing. But they become sort of part of the institutional landscape, even if they weren't a traditional institution to begin with. But again, don't fight what you are. So if you become something that is hugely scalable, that starts to be more than just a unicorn and it starts to be part of the infrastructure conversation, then be that. So I don't think fintech will ever end or ever be bankified, but there will be certain fintechs, there will be certain companies that grow at an incredible rate, an incredible scale, and their purpose will shift. It won't be to be the bleeding edge disruptor. It will be part of the institutional landscape. So be part of the institutional landscape. Don't fight the nature of what you are.
Integrity is really important to you, right? When I look through your career, that's the one thing you seem to be always fighting for, transparency and integrity, right?
Yeah. I don't think there's anything really important about what you do. But I think what is fundamentally important is what you are.
Oh, I love that. That's a quote.
I like that. That's the quote.
Love
That's the headline.
Yeah.
Well, it shapes what you do.
Yeah.
Right? Everything that you are shapes what you do. If you choose to do something before you know what it is, it's wishy-washy, it's volatile, it's changeable, it's mercurial, it is inconsistent, and it's unknowable.
On a personal front of that then, when did you find and look and feel who you are and know who you are? Because some people struggle with that.
Oh, that's a good one, because I don't think we ever really do. I still question who I am sometimes to this day.
Yeah.
What is the value that I bring? And I think that's critical that every age and stage should have an assessment. But I know what I am, and I know what I'm supposed to be doing, which is an interesting thing to actually be able to say. And there's a core thing that's consistent. I know I have certain characteristics that are absolutely inherent in me, and they rise to the surface without fail. They are the things I count on.
What are they?
Power, wisdom, and openness.
Power, wisdom.
I am powerful, I am wise, and I am open. And I say the why as saying that sounds pretty conceited, but I've spent a lot of time taking knowledge into practice and hoping to collect some wisdom as I go. But those things are what I am consistently. And I know that those are translatable into what I should be doing, which is teaching. I'm supposed to teach. Now, I don't have to be a teacher in front of a classroom. I can teach from any point, any place. It can be over a cup of coffee. It can be having my hair done. It can be sitting next to someone on the metro. It doesn't really matter. I can teach at any point, any place, any time. But if I bring the sense of power, and I bring some element of wisdom, and I bring openness with patience to listen, then I can teach. I serve purpose at every single stage. That's the whole point. Now, granted, I was lucky enough to kind of figure this out a decade or so ago, to have a glimmer of it. But getting to that point was not easy. And getting to that point is also full of a lot of discomfort when you're trying to be honest with yourself. And I guess maybe I hit that tolerance for discomfort early on. But it's something that I say is consistently part of life, and it should be part of my life. I need to be uncomfortable with myself in order to have that conversation. And the moment of discomfort is a moment to call to attention. This is a thing I need to be paying attention to and give it its due consideration. And to be patient enough with myself to do that. That's not comfortable at all, but it's absolutely necessary. And it's the only way you can have integrity is having those moments of discomfort with self, being honest about it and saying, all right, if I map to my principles, if I map to my choice of value, then my behavior will have to change in order to match that. And therefore, I will pay attention to my behavior in this aspect. And being open to criticism. It's not criticism, it's just feedback of someone else's perspective.
Constructive.
It always is constructive. It's input. Even if it's just their perspective, they're telling you how they see you, or how they see the world, or how they see the situation. And I think if you can build the muscle of patience to step back and say, that's not personal, it's not about me, it's their perspective about me. It doesn't define who I am. I choose that definition. But apparently they're not seeing that definition, so what am I doing that conveys a different message? And what am I doing that gives them the material to create that perception? If I have any control over the situation, if I have any influence, perhaps I should change how I behave with that person. Perhaps I need to better communicate. Perhaps I need to listen better. Perhaps I need to do a number of different things that would allow that person the space to meet me where I want to be, and for me to meet them where they are. That's not always easy. So I think having the patience with self to let that discomfort happen, knowing that it's not necessarily a critique of who you are at your core. It's an opportunity to create the space for a shared perception of the thing, of the interaction, of the situation. That's much more valuable than my sense of who I am and holding on to that.
Wow, strong answer.
I don't even know where we're going with this, but there you go.
I love that.
This is what happens when someone plays with my hair.